The first shock of the minors happened last night as eUnited pulled off a David versus Goliath in their match against NRG, and they're now becoming a real contender for the final spot in the Americas qualifier. But, and it's a big but, there is one team standing in their way from major qualification, and that's Complexity. 2 teams will enter and 1 team will leave qualified for the majors in September. All right here, right now on the FACEIT Americas Minor. Hello, I'm Frankie Ward. Welcome to the FACEIT Americas Minor. It's the final day before we leave you in the hands of CIS and the Asian qualifiers, and I'm joined by Vendetta and by Maniac. We've kidnapped you from the Russians.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm very excited to be here.
We've got 3 excellent teams left in the competition. 2 giant killers, Complexity and of course, our next team, eUnited. They've both beaten NRG.
Yeah, somewhat surprisingly as well. We were kind of just dumbfounded yesterday. We didn't really know what was going on. But here we are. I think both teams have played well enough to say that they've deserved their spot by all means. So it wasn't necessarily a fluke, even though it was very much surprising to us. But it's fun to see, and it should make for a really, really fun best-of-3 series coming up.
Maniac, are you a fan of NA teams?
I am. Actually, I am. I'm a fan of all
I was about to say, wait, what?
like, what is that question? I'm a fan of CS.
Well, Jacob, whose spot you've replaced, he was not a fan of NA teams, it seemed.
No, but here's the thing. Maybe the CS that we're going to see or we are seeing differs a little bit from what we see at like the premium top event. I think there's beauty to it, and there are like things to understand. It's like a painting, you know. You need to understand what's happening. I like to do that.
I would say more like NA is more like modern art. You can't quite make sense of it, but you know somebody's willing to pay a lot for it.
Well, if you've got an opinion, whether CS is beautiful modern art or anything else for that matter, then let us know using the hashtag FACEITMinor. We'd love to see what you think of my shirt, for example, because why not? I love a compliment. You're only allowed to send me compliments, okay? Capiche?
Make sure you mute Pimp.
Exactly, yeah, I need to mute Jacob. He said such lovely things about my face yesterday, so I imagine he's saved the worst for my shirt. Kappa. Now, it's been quite a packed few days in the FACEIT Americas Minors. We've lost some big teams, such as NRG and also NTC, a Brazilian team we lost during the group stages. All lots and lots of surprises, but we should take a look at how we got to this point. So let's look at Team A, or Group A. I like to think of them as a team. No rivalry here at all. So there you go. We had NRG Esports against Swole Patrol, and Swole Patrol were knocked out.
Yeah, and I mean, Energy started off the tournament so well, right? Cruising through the initial groups. As you can see, we also managed to defeat eUnited to secure their spot on the final bracket. NTC, who we had, I guess, mixed feelings about. We were hoping for the best and got the worst, really. They got knocked out by eUnited, which, I mean, as we see now, isn't really that big of a deal, or it's not that big of a surprise anymore with how well eUnited have been playing. But yeah, definitely a couple of twists and turns in there, but we got through it in the end. But it's been fun following, and I think it's I've kind of learned to like eUnited in that sense, because they came here as a bit of a blank sheet for me.
And of course, in Group B, we had another 2 teams qualify, and those 2 teams are still in the running. We had Rogue, of course, who actually have already qualified for the majors, and they'll be in our grand final later when they'll be competing for a cash prize. And we have Complexity. So I think it's going to be quite a tough couple of games tonight. It's going to be super close. Maybe we'll go to 3 maps on both of those games.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Yesterday felt like the day where we would see, you know, at least some of the teams being able to kind of set the tone and get a quick 2-0 and move on about their day, but that didn't really come to fruition. Now I think we're more evenly matched than we've been at any point in this tournament so far, which kind of makes sense. The closer you get towards the end, the top of the crop remains. So I guess that is just how it normally works out.
And before we went live, you guys told me an interesting fact about this matchup, because they've not actually played each other since DreamHack Masters in Stockholm, have they?
Yes, this is Stockholm qualifier. They haven't played. They're actually one of the few teams that haven't ran into each other, you know, along the way in the brackets at the minor. But yeah, they definitely have some history with each other. Obviously, they play online leagues and qualifiers over in North America quite a bit. But eUnited, somewhat surprisingly, I guess, to some, are the ones who've actually gotten the better result of it in the last 2 best-of-3 matchups they've had. And another thing that you pointed out was the fact that they've played 5 different maps in those 2 best-of-3 series. So in terms of what we initially think about the veto, you know, it's completely, it's a coin flip pretty much.
I mean, eUnited, surely they're going to veto Overpass. They've just had bad experiences on it.
But here's the thing, right? Because the permaban for complexity has always been overpass as well. So that's where eUnited can grab a little bit of an edge and actually save a veto in that sense, or save a ban. So, they can remove potentially either, their weakest map from that point on, which we saw versus Energy. They definitely want to overpass Gone, but it could also steer the direction of removing complexity's assumed strongest map.
Well, if you're tuning in for the first time to the FACEIT America's Minors, let's meet those first two teams, eUnited and Complexity.
Rogue have already claimed their spot in the Challengers stage, but will it be eUnited or Complexity who join them? Although Nuke did not go eUnited's way, Dazzle and Moose were not going down without a fight, and managed to secure 2 wins on Inferno and Dust 2 against NRG. Complexity, on the other hand, come off a loss against Rogue. Although Mirage was a close affair, the sides couldn't secure the win in overtime, as a vintage Hiko came out to play. Now they will battle it out for the final time against eUnited, to see who will grasp the last remaining challenger spot.
There we have it. Two teams who desperately want to make it to the majors. I mean, our grand final, I don't want to play it down at all because there's big money at stake, but really this is probably going to be the most emotional match we've seen so far. Maniac, how do you keep those emotions in check when you're playing for such a big prize?
The thing is, you don't. I think you don't. I think you learn to handle them along the way on your career. And I think when you play more and more of these matches, you kind of learn how to get a handle on them and actually use them to your advantage, use the adrenaline, use the heightened focus. But for those rookie team, it can be very shaky and shaking to play in those kind of tournaments. But after all, you practice so many hours for these games. This is the one reason you play so many hours at home, because everything is on the line. Obviously, the major is like the temple of CSGO at the moment. So, yes, a lot of emotions, but that's the way it's supposed to be, I guess.
This is the interesting thing we've seen, though, in this competition, which is the teams that are the underdogs have actually used that to their advantage. They haven't had that nerve or that pressure of expectation going in. So when it came to those two colossal NRG defeats, so with the two teams we're seeing now, with eUnited and with Complexity, they managed to almost sail through and pull off those shockers because they didn't seem to have that stress on them. Now we don't really have a clear favourite, at least I don't personally. So let's talk about Complexity and how you think they're going to handle that vendetta.
Again, I think if nothing else, then the Energy game has to be a massive boost in terms of just how you handle pressure, because they were on the brink of elimination. We have to consider the fact that Energy were up 14-9 on the second map after already closing at the first one. So if you're able to come back from that, you're pretty set to deal with anything that gets thrown in your direction. Complexity is also a team that we've come to learn that they actually deal very well with actually just building up each other. They're not necessarily the team to get stressed down by pressure. Before they played Rogue, for instance, we're hearing them laughing, joking around, just having a good time. So I think pressure in that sense, given, coupled with the fact that they have quite a few experienced players, especially their in-game leader, that actually goes a long way to being able to keep everyone in check. And normally you would expect someone like EA, who's probably the most inexperienced player on that side, to be the one to freak out. He seems to love the pressure. He's screaming, he's shouting. When he's doing well, he's getting in there and just tries to build more on it to really get him going. So he probably have taken a couple of 7 months footsteps to that point where you use that extra adrenaline and heightened focus to his advantage instead of letting it be a negative.
I mean, I feel like we need to get that boy some strepsils because Maniac, I don't think you've heard yelling yet. You're going to want some earplugs because you're going to get tinnitus if you stay down here and watch them play, because the hype is real. But when they start losing, the boys stop shouting. Yes. You can tell when they're in trouble.
Here is the thing, and for me, at least as a player and with my teams, that was always like a struggle, and we kind of had to learn from it. The yelling for me is like a double-edged sword. Like on one hand, it's extremely nice. If you win a crazy clutch, everyone goes apeshit, like, oh, let's go! But the problem is, like, for me, if you want to do this, then you need to be able to handle like hard rounds to lose, and you need to be able to just calm down. Like, for example, when we were playing with Existence, we had this rule, like if we're pulling a crazy round, everyone has the right to shout if you want to, but when the freeze time is back, you're back to quiet. And because we've all had these rounds where we just won an incredible clutch and then we bungle the next round for no reason, because people are a little bit like in the stars and, oh my god, that was crazy, let's go, and then you lose the round. So you have to learn use that.
It was crazy watching eUnited yesterday against NRG because at first NRG seemed business as usual. I think they chained 10 maps after eUnited took that initial pistol, and then suddenly everything changed. And eUnited just lost. eUnited, I should say, NRG just lost something. So you can still tell I'm still in surprise. And then we got to Nuke as well, and despite everything those guys tried to do, even Cirque was playing misfires.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird because you saw Energy again. It felt like they were starting off that match as they did with the group stage. Really, it was business as usual, taking care of what they were meant to do, winning rounds, even winning some rounds that are not necessarily meant to win. And that builds confidence in you. And then at some point during Nuke, they just had, I don't know, like their power switch just get turned off for a couple of minutes, and that was enough to just really make them insecure about what they were doing. We started seeing fumblings, which just like basic fundamentals of Counter-Strike, proper nade usage, like just utility kind of went by the wayside, and they started reaching for it. And you could talk about it being either you get scared of winning in that sense, so you're playing not to lose instead of playing to win, which is something that a mental aspect of Counter-Strike or pretty much anything you compete in that could be a massive hindrance for teams. So I don't really know. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what went wrong with Energy, but you could definitely tell that in that particular matchup, eUnited was a stronger mental team, which is completely expecting.
What I'm wondering, Vendetta, sorry to interrupt you, is focusing on eUnited and everything that went right for them yesterday, if they can do this again in their matchup against Complexity.
Yeah, I think it's definitely possible, especially because we got to see them. One of the question marks we had on them was, how big is their map pool? How well are they going to do for themselves? We got to see them close out the entire series on Dust 2. They played really, really well. I think parts of it makes them look, or they look a little bit better than what they might be because Energy played probably their worst game in quite a few months. But still, like they showcased that they actually have a few more strings to play off than what we initially expected of them coming into this. So given the fact that they were able to brush off the Nuke defeat, for instance, come back and reverse sweep Energy in that sense, speaks volumes, and I think that's the kind of confidence that they're going to bring into the series as well.
Knowing nothing about these teams, or I say nothing, but you haven't seen them in the minors so far, have you, Maniac? So going by what Vendetta said, have you got any instinct for who you think is going to come out on top?
Not really. Like, I don't really have a winner in my mind straight ahead. I really like that Complexity have kind of this mixture of players who have played at the highest level or some sort of highest level, kind of helping the others to take steps forward into CS. And about eUnited, I was just thinking, for them, this next match is going to be very important to not let the, how can I put it, like, what's at stake, to not let them eat them, Like, when they were playing against NRG, they were probably very in good spirits, and they knew that they probably had nothing to lose. They were the underdogs. They could play freely, and once you get past that, you might find yourself
Time to get into Inferno. Complexity will be starting on the T side, so we'll see what they have to offer to eUnited. I think this is going to be quite an entertaining best-of-3 series, so make sure you've got a warm cup of something.
Joe.
Who's Joe?
That's what they call coffee, isn't it?
Who is
it's
Joe?
more of an American thing, I suppose.
Who is Joe, though, Dan?
I don't know. We're going to go through this again. Who do we find out?
When is Joe coming?
I can't be asked. So, we have the piss around. And Complexity United, they're going to be offering a lot more than we saw, I think, in the CIS games previously when it comes to how snappy the play is and how many individuals can go off. So that's going to be really entertaining, if nothing else. And looks like we've got Complexity after just spotting some CTs on mid, re-rotating to a B-bomb site. There are a lot of CTs here, though, so if the shots fall initially eUnited's way, they can have a strong defense. But that's not the case.
He's trying to bait for his teammate. Relics with 3 one-taps. The bomb has been planted. That is devastating play from Relics, nodding as he means to proceed. And eUnited will do the very same. His teammates will finish off the job with the defuse. Relics has been on one recently. He has been on one. All smiles in the first round. He's like, yeah, they're in really high spirits. Complexity very much focused on the task at hand. Rory's got a banana for scale next to his keyboard. Look at these taps. That second one was glorious. He is a man in control of his mouse. Full control, my friend.
So, 4 MP9s, there we go, got there in the end. 4 MP9s, that's pretty cool. You don't often see that. I like it. MP9 is so good. It's a lot of fun. Amazing jumping accuracy.
You heard the man. A lot of fun.
That's no fun. Smokes aren't fun. Smokes aren't fun.
You threw a smoke at me once.
I did actually, yeah.
Literally.
And I tried to...
You locked me in a room with a smoke grenade.
I tried to...
You detonated a smoke grenade and you locked me in a room with it. And then the fire brigade came.
Yeah. You didn't suffocate though, that's good.
I like how you say that as though it was a journey of discovery after locking me in the room with the smoke grenade. Very nice of you, Dan.
Doing science. Doing science. The good of mankind, the greater good. the greater good, James.
Dangerous waters.
It's gone fairly well here so far for United. Well, I mean, of course they have traded equally, but still, time is starting to run out for Complexity. They've got 40 seconds, so they're going to have to make a decision soon, and they are a little bit spread out still. They have a man in balcony though, and they have Stanislaw just with the Glock towards B, so he's not really going to pose much threat. But United still are unsure of what's going on. They don't have much info, so this could be scary if Complexity are able to get the first kill on the entry. Then things could get very awkward. The strength for the CTs is in the crossfires and so on, and Dazzle's on 3 HP. They really need Dapper to get back into position towards A, because he's coming... Oh, the wrap! Stanislaw's found the UMP. This is very scary for Moose.
8 seconds for Moose to stay alive and stop this plant from going down. That's a great protect from Stanislaw. A second one from Stanislaw. Seems he's on one as well. 3 kills for him with this UMP, making money as he goes along. Relics now moving quickly. He has a defuse kit. He spotted one of the 3 players. Has to move quickly, and Shazam will put a stop to that. Shazam on pistols. Heard good things. Seen good things as well. Complexity win the 4 spy, and some would argue that's an even better round to win.
Yeah, it's definitely not a bad look, is it, for Complexity? Really well handled. It's pretty cool how Stanislaw managed to find that UMP. You just see him, wasn't a Glock, finds the UMP, and taps at the end there, pretty nice. So, 4 spy from eUnited comes in, and MP nice. Double sees it. Deagle. Could be worse, could be worse. Complexity chillaxing at the moment.
Don't ever say
I was about to say, I shouldn't say that, should I?
Don't ever say that again. We are better than this, Dan.
It triggers you, hey? It's a bit of a trigger.
A Molotov. Bottles are being thrown, and the football hasn't even started. Android moving into the balcony position. Dazzle moving out. If he ventures back in again, he could be in trouble. And now you start to wonder about time for Complexity. eUnited are all out of grenades, however. Bomb being collected, and Complexity don't really know where these CTs are, I think it's fair to say. But it seems they might be making the right decision with Ye towards Banana. Dazzle's the only person towards this A bomb site, and he, as you can see, is on the balcony. Complexity really running this clock down. Yeah, picking one player off, seen a second one. The T's on A will grow with confidence. All together, still clearing the site carefully, and now they've got time to do this. So it is thorough, it is meticulous. They know what is at stake, and they will not make mistakes.
Here comes Shazam. Hunting down those CTs. Ooh, almost successful. But almost, there's not enough. Where's the wisdom?
Where's the wisdom from Dan.com
Where's it?
/FACEIT Major.
Oh, man. It's a bit quiet, isn't it? Get a little bit of bird song again. Well, Moose actually gets an opportunity here for a frag. Couple good attempts at the shot, you know, he took his time. Now he's just forcing them close, holding on to what he has, and he'll do so. But it is the full save from eUnited, and they don't really have too much to offer here. So I wonder if we'll see a fast anti-eco from Complexity here. Now they know that, of course there was some guns saved, but generally speaking they know that there's going to be a lack of Kevlar, there's going to be a general lack of a lot of things. So we're in a situation where they could run a fast round, and that would be completely okay. It's actually a pretty good way to do it in many senses as well. In the faster rounds, it creates a situation where the CTs don't have the ability to rotate. Or they don't get time to rotate because you just hit a site and get straight in there. Unless, of course, there's a lot of delay on the way in. You're going to get position on the sites, and the retake is incredibly hard with no utility, and obviously we see no kits and so on and so forth. So when you get the bomb down, it's even more is going to increase your chance to win the games, or to win the round, that is. So there are lots of arguments for different approaches based on the context. However, here, you know, we'll see Complexity, they are taking their time, and they still have time, the minutes on the clock now, as they have taken away top mids, and they progressively start to push back the CTs. Def experiencing quite some success recently. Very happy with how things are going with this lineup. The UK hopeful. The Complexity's been with them for quite some time, and now we'll see Complexity working their way onto the bomb site. 30 seconds to go, and the initial frag goes to Dapper. They walk into the crossfire, and now they quickly rotate towards B. They'd left Ye towards Banana, and he gets the pick on Dazzle. And everyone from United was around A pretty much. So that's going to mean that they can get a bomb plant, and it's a 3v4 after plants. Ooh, that's a strong frag onto Ye from Moose. That's going to cause some real big problems. Android with a very quick play. Very nice decision to just run around the back straight away. Covering the exit actually as well, but he's got players coming from Banana. They don't suspect it, and that's a good spray down. Now it's down to Shazam though.
They have to get on this bomb quickly. They've got to find him. They've got to frag him, and they will. There will be time for the defuse. eUnited with a surprising win.
Yeah, and it does go back a little bit to, you know, one of the advantages I was talking about when you play the faster rounds. It does prevent some of the opportunities that eUnited had there, but it's not to say that Complexity's approach was wrong, but just that, you know, each approach has its own unique dangers. And that is interesting. That's going to make things a bit tough here for both teams, because no one's... This is pretty... I think this is a 2-for-1 with how the money is. So very important early round to secure economy and momentum for whichever team wins it.
Both teams fighting for a position in the major. How does Def get away with that one? UK boy. UK lad. Hashtag lads. Dapper alone towards the B bomb site. Does Dazzle start to rotate? He is in the arch position. But no, it seems they will, well, perhaps. Again, he has to walk if he goes speedway, otherwise he may be heard by Tees in the corner where the gate is, beyond the sandbags. Complexity though, not that far away. And you can see they cut noise as well, so eUnited do not know the intentions of these T players. Stanislaw perhaps looking to cut off rotation around the balcony position or offering a fake. Chunky grenade onto Ace, and he will keep 2 players entertained for eUnited. So it's a 4 versus 2 on the B bomb side. The flashbang is perfect. Dapper, a great burst on the first player, but he can't find the second, and that might just be the round.
And that's the GG. Or the GR. Well, Stan. He's going to be nipping at the heels of these eUnited players on the back foot, on the save attempts. Stanislaw has been very good individually, and we see many a fake flash from him. Actually baits the shot out. That's going to allow him to change positions somewhat. Still buying a lot of time for his teammates to get in there against Ace. And Stanislaw gets the kill. He hunted down both players by himself. Really, really good job from him. And that's going to be 3 rounds there, of course, for Complexity, and 2 rounds for eUnited. Life is looking better now for Complexity. They have the opportunity to stabilize, but we can see that United are able to scrap together a bit of a force buy here. And by a bit, James, I mean a complete force buy.
An actual force buy.
An actual force buy.
Just a force, simply a force buy. Grenades towards Moose. The flashbang. Relics on the second shot. He lands it. Is there another flash for him, though, to get out of this position? He is forced forward, and now Dapper can't save him. Does he continue forward? Another HG grenade. The exchange of fire towards B, but B is safe for the time being. That smoke grenade will serve as a penetrable brick wall, if you will. Flashbang bang being lined up by Muse. But the Molotov will stop any shenanigans. Stanislaw with some fire, again showing some presence. Yay, collecting a weapon. Sub the 1 minute mark. How will Complexity look to convert this round?
Yeah, they've only got 2 players United on that A side, but they are playing together. Dazzle can get caught out of position here. He wants to take off angles, but you've got to be so careful with it. And there's a lot of smokes towards Arch. That may suggest the play towards B, actually. Oh, they didn't actually smoke off Moto, so maybe not. So going in here, Ace does get some good damage. Doesn't get the kill, though. That's kind of a big deal. His teammate, though, Dazzle, able to finish him off, but now they're hunting for Dazzle, and Android will deal with him. 2 men there facing him at once. He did enough. He created a 2v2, a winnable spot here for eUnited. Let's not forget they went for the force buy with the AWP. Moose has the AWP still, and he is going to go for this. Is there a smoke grenade down to block him? Not quite. That smoke grenade is going to cover Graveyard, and that's going to make it too difficult for Moose. He's going to hang on to this. But that means that Complexity have converted. And all we have to worry about next round is an AWP, James. That's what I'm trying to say.
One of those, yes.
And the classic. Sometimes words are difficult.
Sometimes they are. Sometimes pictures are difficult too.
Yeah.
4-2-2 for Complexity. Now, mission is identify location of AWP, avoid AWP, but also avoid potential stack. Those are the missions assigned by Stanislaw to his team. So let's see how they go about that. Moose will be over towards the A site, waiting for somebody to pick him in boiler. Relic's alone on B. And sometimes you might expect I mean, we've seen some rounds where an AWP has been alone on one site and there's been a 4-man stack in the other. So this is somewhat different to some of the rounds we have seen earlier on in today's matches. Android and Stanislaw poking and prodding. They've got a smoke down in the right direction for the time being. And now there's a smoke on Arch. Moose. Ooh. think they might have heard him jump there, so they'll quickly abandon ship. But do they hear 2 players towards A complexity? Relic still alone on B. He has 1 flashbang. He could try to use it with good timing to force the T's away. 50 seconds left, and complexity don't really have... I mean, they've heard some plays towards short, but they are moving into the stack.
40 seconds, and it is a... It's okay. It's okay. They got enough time here. But we did see them have struggles on a previous round where they were trying to deal with these pistols. And oh my god, so much damage. Moose grappling off the AWP as well. He's still got it in hand. He's going to back away, and it's actually a 2v2. Once again, a struggle for complexity on these rounds where there's just pistols. Obviously, there is an AWP as well, but the AWP is now gone. Or is it? Does Shazam see it be collected? I'm not sure. He does just go for the jump spotting to be safe. And if he does another jump spot, he might be a goner, but it's actually Relic's who's a goner. He's done a runner. And he'll be off, saving the AWP once again. And considering how much mileage they got out of that AWP in this round, that's kind of scary.
Imagine an eco where they have slightly more money and smoke grenades.
Yeah.
I would be very curious to see how that would play out. But regardless of how tough it was, complexity get the round in the bag. 5-2 now. eUnited need to start winning some rounds. They saved the AWP once again. I'm sure they will buy. They may be lacking in grenades unless they sacrifice some M4 choices. It's a tactical timeout from eUnited. Discussing perhaps a plan of action for the round to come. Will there be some aggression from them?
Yeah, it's pretty tough at this point. Complexity starting to find a pretty nice groove to their T side. And the funny thing is, it's just really the anti-force buy / anti-eco rounds which have seemed the most annoying for Complexity. They've converted them, but they've been close. Perhaps they'll start to get a bit more steady in those ones. I would be surprised if they wouldn't speed up the pace in those rounds now, as they've gone very slow, and each time that has caused them problems. Give the CTs time to rotate, time to react, time to plan, to plot, to scheme. So the 4 rifles here for eUnited. Passive play on B. Conserving their utility, forcing Complexity, if they play a slow game, to pressure them, to make them respect the fact that they have a lot of utility, and you got to pressure them, you got to get rid of it, otherwise they're not going to throw it. And when it comes to late rounds, you're going to start running into smoke grenades, you're going to start running into great counter flashes. So as a T side, you want to try to prevent that, and that is it's a sacrifice of information, but the conservation of utility is what United are going for here.
1 minute mark. A nuisance smoke grenade, but the CTs will have some info around it, as they still have a player on the balcony. Smoke's being lined up towards the arch position as well. Yay and Shazam still on banana. The bomb is still at the bottom of T slope. Collected by Shazam now. While 3 complexity players take the top of mid. United no longer have information towards towards A. Ace is holding the line on B with the AWP. But what is the play from Complexity? 30 seconds now. They need to collect the bomb. Moose has been naded into oblivion, and Dapper is rotating over towards the B bomb site. But it seems they're going towards B. Sorry, that Dapper's going towards A. A still has the line with the AWP. Ooh, he sees a hand, but surely he's about to get flashed. 1 player, there's a Molotov, but can he get any more? Surely this is a 1 frag position, or maybe not. Doing massive damage is Ace, and there's only 2 players remaining. A pop flash. Look how much time he's wasting. They can't even win the round. They can't even try to plant the bomb at this point. It's all about damage.
Oh god, it's gone a bit wrong for Complexity. eUnited, a very much needed victory there, and that's the benefit of the passive approach. I think the passive approach has a lot of problems if the other team can play well against it. But if you don't know the correct responses, and you play a slow round, it happens like that. You just run out of time because they just have too much to delay you. So really cool from United to know how to play that style. And it does give them opportunity as things progress to start mixing up into a more aggressive style as well. Start hammering down certain areas of the map. But we can see that they've gone back into a very far back style. They've given up banana control again for free, allowing Complexity to take middle. And United only have nades on 2 players. That's a problem. Musu's on balcony and Dapper, who is on B.
Are they going for it this time? Ace over towards the A site on this occasion. 2 CTs on the site. Ace creeping around the smoke. He has advantages. There's 1 player picked off. Hasn't seen the bomb just yet, but they are committed, these Ts. And the 4th player is making his way towards the A bomb site. Complexity getting cut to pieces, but they're starting to frag back. Dapper is here. The cavalry is here. And that leaves Android on his own. Can Relics get to Arch in time? Deploying some flashes, I think. But Android, yeah, he will get caught by it, in fact. That allows Relics to get into position now. Android checking top mid, but the bomb is down by the haystack. And now Relics is able to join his teammate on the site. And he's seen a fair amount of the short position. And there is Arch smoked, so Android may be in trouble here. He is capable of the clutch, but he is running out of time with which to do it. 15 seconds, looking in library, nobody's home. There's a gap in the smoke though. He could catch him off guard, look at the transfer. He goes back to the well and gets both the kills. That is so unlucky for eUnited. The gap in the smoke just was not good enough.
Oh, that is gutting, absolutely gutting. They had that one. They even had a bit of time there to try to figure out, okay, where is he, and then to engage in the fight. But a really good nerve as well from Android to sort of take his time to let the gun cool down a bit, not do a full spray, make sure that it's a consistent result there. And although again, we have to mention the fact that again, this Complexity are playing a slow round against a passive style, and it's causing them problems. We're seeing the rounds go too fine a margin between the teams in spots where Complexity have some good should have some more advantages. So I do wonder if that approach will change as things progress, but they do have 6 rounds, so they may not feel like there's a good enough argument to change anything up just yet. So this is quite a close game, despite the fact that eUnited have often been in a poor shape as far as how well they're armed, but Dazzle's looking for an opportunity there. I wonder if he'll find something. He might go for a push. It'd be a very timely push if it happens around now. Is the Loaf Man going to loaf one
Spread
down?
the bread.
Is he going to loaf?
Is the Loaf Man going to spread the bread? Smoke grenade being deployed. 3 smokes around the B bomb site, and that's causing a 2-man rotation. Dazzle moving into second mid. Do Complexity commit here? They've got 40 seconds in their map control. Android wondering what's behind them, but Dazzle is just holding position because the 3 CTs are slowly moving in, and Complexity's hand is forced. All these eco rounds looking very laboured for Complexity. 26 seconds to plant this bomb. And those Rex from distraction. He dies both around new box though, and the rest may be a formality at this point. Get the bomb down. Dazzle's on banana. Angle being held by Shazam. Dazzle avoids it, trying to avoid the next one, but almost a triple peek comes in from Complexity. They look vulnerable in these rounds, Complexity. They're really running the clock down. They're really being careful. But you've got to be careful with the clock as well, because it can be used against you.
Absolutely, and it seems to be consistently an issue in this matchup so far. But fortunately for Complexity, United just been shy of being able to actually use it to enough of an advantage to take rounds. But it is scary for Complexity, although I mean it's like a Na'Vi of old. If you are just like super comfortable playing that incredibly slow style where every round comes down to maybe it's timeout, maybe lots of crazy stuff happens and nothing can go wrong when you finally make the push. If you're comfortable there, then screw it. If it works, it works. That's all with a pick off. Quite amusing, but Android is not too amused. He'll deal with that, and Complexity will find their way back onto banana. Complexity. Ooh, this is nice to see. Android's getting information. Is there a stack? What do I see? He saw 1 more player, so there's 2 players unaccounted for, but they only have USPs. How bad can it be with 2 mere USPs?
Ooh, if Ye re-smokes, then that allows the CT to get closer. And then who knows? I don't know if there's a funky smoke for Moose. Could opt to throw smoke towards Banana, for example. There is a gap in that smoke as well. But seems they won't try to win the round. They don't really have much to lose. Relix is going to collect something, I'm sure. Looking for a T weapon. And he doesn't find anything. This disposal service. Complexity big on recycling. Minimizing their use of plastic, perhaps. That's a shame. It would have been funky, I think, with that smoke grenade in the Mac 10. They could have had a nice time of things. Relix gets a $300 out of that. And that will be that. 8-3. Now let's see what the United choose to do. Obviously, it's buy time. Moose has a clean 47.50, but he won't be buying an AWP. M4A4s all round and a fair amount of grenades. A fair amount. They've lost 3 rounds in a row with United. They've lost 6 of the last 7 rounds. This does not bode well for them.
Yeah. Ooh, the double nade. Love to see that. That's done immense amounts of damage. Yeah, he's reeling in pain. Although you wouldn't be able to tell. But Complexity have been very methodical in their approach, which is awesome. And that is the sign of a lot of hard work. That is the sign of discipline and belief in a system. Because no matter how weird things get, they're playing it. They're looking confident, seeing it through, and reaping the rewards thus far. Once again, eUnited very passive. And minutes left on the rounds. Still a decent amount of utility left for eUnited, and Complexity look like they want to start moving in. They've not got too much utility remaining themselves. Only 4 nades, 2 smokes in there. And Ace is going to spot them moving across. Nice movement initially, trying to use the little bit of brick there to keep himself safe. Dazzle with the pre-fire around the corner, not going to work out. Stan and Shaz are coming for the bomb site, and Moose will be wrapped. And once you're wrapped, you're done. And that's a save for United. Another fairly slow round from Complexity, but again, it just works out. And at this point, you're thinking, or at least I'm thinking, maybe you're not. I should not be so presumptuous as to assume what you're thinking. But where is the aggression from United? I think we need a change of pace from them, because Complexity are doing the same thing, and it's just working time and again. United are doing the same thing, and it's not working time and again.
They need their sniper rifles.
It would be nice. 1,
maybe even 2, and I feel like stylistically they need it to get that aggression in.
Yep.
I don't know if there is a plan B with 5 M4A4s to be as effective when you need to be.
Well, one of the things too is that they've not been in positions where they can safely cheat a player towards the A site. They've never been taking Banana, so due to that, and it's not as though Complexity have been really investing a lot to deny it from them. They just sort of give it up, and because they're giving it up, they're not in a position where they have information. So we see this spot time and again where Complexity can then just walk into top mid and wrap on the A site, and you don't have that extra player to help defend the arch push and maybe get a pick beforehand. So I think that would really benefit eUnited, but not too many rounds left in this half, and they've only got 3. There's a possible 3 more that they can get.
United with a traditional setup, but with 2 rifles and 3 CZs. A respectable attempt from Dazzle there. Very dangerous to have a CZ running at you in such a fashion. Moose doing really good work, and he's got Ace. He can run distraction for him. Ace with a P250 and 2 kills. Oh boy, this is falling to absolute madness. Shazam alone versus 2 players. How much time is on that smoke? He's planting the bomb. They're pushing through. 1 to the left, 1 to the right, trying to tap Relix down, but Relix will win the duel. 2 rifles and 3 pistols. And that's the round.
I'm glad that Shazam came off the bomb there. That was really smart. Yeah, that was very close. Double AWPs now. There you go, James. You get your AWPs. Yeah, get your AWPs.
I feel like they need them.
Indeed,
which is not a bad thing. But now they've got them. They've got to get to work.
Yeah, yeah. So there's this initial HE grenade, and you can see, are they going to just give up Banana again? I really think that they should. They can go and retake it later in the round. You can sort of concede it initially to the T's, but at some point you do want to try and get back in there if you can, because it's so strong to have one AWP posted up there. You can have 4 players on Ace, and everyone's happy on the CT side. Complexity doing a really good job in pressuring all these positions at once and making it just difficult for United to freely go back to Banana. Quad smoke might be a bit annoying. Dazzle's position is very good though. I don't think they've used this, and this could be good for the 1 kill that they need to get that advantage. Good angle. Dazzle surely has to fall back now. Oh, he might not be able to. Oh, he jumps onto the barrel to avoid any fall damage. Very nice.
Still time on the clock. Yeah, he's going on an expedition towards the B bomb site.
Oh, smoked.
He's got himself some beef jerky and a thermos.
That's a great read, that smoke. They realized that Complexity couldn't get top mid, so they must be turning back.
But are they? Complexity all here at the B bomb site. An exploratory flash. And it's all guns now from the CT side. 20 seconds remaining and lining up for Dapper. Take a ticket. How on earth are you going to get the bomb down now? 2 versus 5. There's a full rotation from Complexity, and now only Dazzle is on the A site, but there is no way, surely. They're going for the save. They're going to T-spawn. They're going back to the waterfall to admire the sound, the lily pads, the chicken, and the yellow bicycle.
Bicicleta. Yeah, that was a great round from eUnited. You know, they read it really well. It was a pretty simple round from Complexity, you know, because Complexity did the basics really well, and eUnited understand how those basics play out, and they just executed it really well. So cool to see. That was a very basic round, but it's fun to see how it played out. And into the final round of the half, and eUnited have really done a lot for themselves in towards the end of this first half, or in the second quadrant.
Love me some quadrants.
Second half of the first half.
Big fans of quadrants here at FACEIT.
Quadrant 2.
Right then, last round of the first half. Complexity have a good buy in terms of weaponry, as do eUnited. eUnited got 3 AKs and 2 AWPs. That is quite the buy. That is quite the buy, but who's going to take the last round? eUnited really need this one. If Complexity win the pistol, be it 9 rounds or 10 rounds, they are in trouble in the first map of this best of 3. Again, the winner of this series heads to the major back here in London. We will be World Cup winners by then.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Complexity, they're switching it up. They're going to burst on A through the balcony. This could be devastating. Moose is flashed half to death, but he's still alive, and he's taken heads. There's more to be found, though. He's completely blinded again. Finally taken down, but Relics with a very nice fast shot under the pressure, under the chaos, delivering. Just Shazam now, and he's going to take one straight in the mouth.
How does he even land that shot, Relics? How does he even land that shot? We've watched this dude for quite a while now. A fair few years.
Probably 4 or 5 years.
It's going from strength to strength. 9-6, eUnited averts the 10-round horror. However, there may be horror to come. Complexity now on the CT side. Def will have 2 flashbangs and a smoke grenade. No defuse kit from Complexity. Relics with 2 flashes and a smoke of his own. Everybody else on Kevlar. No PT-50s to be had for the T side, and they are charging. It's a 5-man push towards that banana position. Stanislaw gets one, and he starts to fall back. Def drops the smoke. Do they play close to the smoke? So many players to spray through that smoke, perhaps not. A 3rd player rotating towards B. It's Shazam. Yeah, keeping an eye on things. Down at the bottom of mid, spotting 3 players. Does he choose to re-engage? He knows they're running. Oh, they're going back, but Dazzle's top mid, and he's dropped a bomb.
He's dropped the bomb. And he's going to pick it up and mosey on back towards B. And there is no good answer here for eUnited. What they are asked of is headshots. That's the only answer, headshots. And a lot of them, as they move into the B bomb site. Complexity of every edge, you would think, with all the members that they have alive, trying to play the crossfires, trying to be sneaky, 2 in 1 position, but Ace is going to check everything. That's very diligent, and that play has brought them right back into this. They have the advantage, they have the bomb down, they have the firepower and the positioning, and now it's down to Android to swing in and try to help Shazam do something. He's taken quite a few bullets here, and Android is yet to be spotted. Nicely done, so swift. Now Shazam can get a 1v1, but he won't win it. That might have been it. Android will try as he can to finish these players off, but I don't know if he has time. Does he have time for this? He has time, I think.
I think he's got time.
Wow, Android, so calm. Is just going to barely pull this one off.
Ooh, he's 20 for 9. He is 20 for 9 in 16 rounds, and Complexity are happy with that one. He's another guy who's been popping off. There are so many sick players on the server right now for both teams. This is going to be quite a series of Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
And that is worst case. Well, it could have been worse for eUnited. They are going to force it up. They understand the implications of being 6-9 down and losing the pistol. You don't want to be starting off 12-6 with your T-halves. They're going to force up 2 AKs on Moose and Relics. The rest look dangerous as well. Nice grenades from eUnited. And all they've revealed so far is a Deagle.
Smoke on Banana deep. Deep. But does anyone choose to challenge it and to go deep themselves? It appears not. eUnited waiting out the initial smokes from Complexity. Another flash for good measure.
Just a waiting game, the patient game. A Molotov will raise a question mark on the Complexity side. Why is there a Molotov in this round? They planted the bomb in the previous round. This would suggest that money has been spent. What else might they have for us? 44 seconds, eUnited, no noise, the flashbangs and the grenades start to rain in. Dapper's been picked off. Shazam doing great work, 3 kills top mid, and those are both the AKs taken away. There are some toys for Complexity to collect later on if they can continue the success here, but 30 seconds on the clock, bomb collected. Ooh, Complexity going to get some nasty upgrades as they start to rotate. Shazam picking up an AK now. There is one more somewhere. Crossfire for Ace and Dazzle. Dazzle trying to force the issue while the smoke is down on the arch position. Ace, he's got 3 bullets left, but he's got no life. Where is the other AK? Can they find it? That's a mop, Android. Here we go. 2 AKs and the M4A4.
Mop's pretty good. It's pretty good. The man is concerned with hygiene. Can't argue with that.
Has this mop been sterilized in the last 5 days?
So 11-6 is a great spot to be in for Complexity. It's only pistols for eUnited. Surely Complexity will not have any issue here, but that said, it's been many issues with such things of late. So it's going to be it's going to be very interesting to see what they can accomplish. That's an early goal, James.
England 1-0 up versus Croatia.
In the first
that
5
was
minutes.
spectacular.
Someone go away for your kick.
These players speak English, it's relevant. That was unreal. You watch, I'll do this. Relics has been naded. 4 pistols remain. Oh, that was nasty, bro.
That's a beautiful goal. Oh my god. Anyway, so
Down top.
bloody Counter-Strike, isn't it? So want to see whether these Deagles can provide any additional damage. They are really looking for that pressure on the economy at the moment. Just running to the crossfire, though, is not going to be all too successful. And, of course, one of the things that you need to deal with that is utility, but it's not really around where they have any utility, so there's only so much you can ask for in that round such as that. So 12-6, as expected, and now eUnited are able to pull together the full buy that they were after. And Complexity will stay with the MP9 on Def. And things will look pretty good in their camp. They have a great spot to challenge Banana control. Looks like they're going to do so. They've got 3 players starting off towards Banana. That would indicate heavy Banana pressure. And they've already set that precedent that they're after that. against eUnited. And that certainly does put the question, the challenge to eUnited. Are you willing to challenge this? Are you willing to try to best us here?
I do believe that Shazam was trying to get a boost from Ye above the smoke in the top mid area, and he got shot in the face. Stanislaw trying some smoke shenanigans as well, and he will also fail. 5 versus 3 for eUnited. This is exactly what they need, although Complexity fighting back with a vengeance, but it lost all the players towards A. Def is the last man standing with the MP9. Dapper holding rotation for the time being, as eUnited look to plant the bomb on default A. So there was a glimmer of hope for Complexity, but eUnited pretty much shut it down pretty quickly. This time there are no gaps in this smoke. So what can Def aim to achieve here? He doesn't have so much to lose. You can see Dapper disposing of an AWP. They don't know that Def is close. He could be anywhere between CT spawn and B and Arch, essentially. So he will take the guns far away and leave Def with a plastic pea shooter in comparison.
That is just rude. Hello. Nice.
Why not? Why not? Could have been more there. He doesn't know.
Ooh, Shazam needing a drop. The AWPs are expensive. Android will furnish him. He'll be furnished with an AWP. That's what a guy. What a guy. So we'll have to see if they can actually make good of this AWP. This is the last chance for Complexity to avoid a saving round. No one wants to be on the saves. Ace will not be fast enough to capitalize there upon the jump. We'll see whether Complexity will be interested in a late banana take. We've seen how important it's been to them so far on the CT side. They have a lot of grenades, and they are pretty good at finding timings for information plays. So that's something that we can look towards as a eUnited. They haven't yet made their way to apartments or into top mid. So they need to get on that ASAP.
1:09. See the grenade streaming in. 3 players still at the B bomb site for Complexity. Man, I feel like every round is tense. Every round is tight.
Twite.
Both these teams playing for a place in the major. Complexity fighting to bring the brand back to where it belongs. eUnited looking to bring a new brand and etch some history into a major. The whole eUnited side now on banana, streaming grenades into the B bomb site. Android on the wrong side of the smokes, trying to hold down connector, but there'll be a push from Dazzle which will shut things down, and now it's down to Stanislaw. 23 seconds, he takes one player out, but he can't trade relics.
Yeah, there goes another smoke refresh on CT. Doesn't look like Complexity are interested there, immediately backing away. And eUnited have forced the respect. Now I'm already curious what Complexity's plan will be on the next round with these 2 guns. What do they aim to do? Open an M4, no one else can buy. Do you put them both on B? What would you do, James? What would James Bardoff do?
Let's see what the situation is. Oh, no one's got any money. Okay, great. Well, Shazam has been warded off the smoke top mid, look over the smoke trick. You could make a play in the apartments, for example, but if you, say, put them both there on a crossfire, then there could be an immediate reaction from eUnited based on what else is going on. I suppose the question is, what do you expect eUnited to do before they commit to a site? They may show some presence towards the B bomb site, that can be expected, but they are unlikely to commit immediately, especially if you drop a smoke down. So do you play the AWP arch / short? Maybe the M4 in a boosted position? I don't know, there are different gambles you can take. You could put it on the pillar on B and have, let's say, the M4 on second oranges or something. Everything's a guess.
Interestingly, they've opted to get an HE on Def and Stanislaw, which is kind of cool. And obviously Ye has one, so that suggests that they are going to try to at least put some pressure on it to start with the HEs, which may be unexpected, which is, I like that. That's pretty cool. It's a small detail, it's a small investment, but, you know, what if you get a lot of damage there, or like, just soften like one or two players up? Suddenly the pistols become much more dangerous, so that's very cool. And we do see Shazam trying to take an edge at the beginning of the round with the AWP, but he can't find anything and has to back away. So all of the utility has been expended by the CTs, and now we'll see what call they make. And we'll see a lot of movement from the CTs. They are moving players around. Like pretty much everyone's just swapped out. They moved Shazam from mid to B. And will this be the master stroke? Will they challenge? Because they won't. Surely they will not expect that, and they may dry peek it potentially.
Yeah, they would expect him to be on the wall rather than standing on the car like that. So he's trying to take an unusual angle. But he's been seen, and there are 4 players on the A site, including M4. 45 seconds, eUnited focusing on A now. They've got top mid. They still don't have to commit to this, but they haven't left a single person towards the B area. Android spotted. They saw a shoulder peek. And they may start to wonder, but 30 seconds, how many options do they really have at this point? They seem tentative. They are in position to split Arch and Short at the same time. That's why he has to wait for his teammates to catch up to face the site, but he doesn't, and he gets picked off with no response. Yeastar with 2 frags so far. Stanislaw doing his best, but there are 3 frags coming in. Android, that's a massive ring of the bell. The bomb has to get planted now.
He's got an AK as well, and look how low Ace is. Relics will defend him. Shazam's picked up an AK. He's got a Kevlar as well. Down to the headshots, though. All the headshot angles will be taken. Ace, though, waiting with the AWP. And he's going to do it. And that's 9-12 now, and eUnited well on the way back to a respectable situation. Oh, this is more than respectable. They're very close to tying things up with Complexity.
They have broken the bats. Complexity will have a goodbye in the round to come. Proves difficult to get the perfect timing between the arch push and the short push, especially with one person short, or the majority of people arch in general. Pistols now for the CT side. They've got 3 smoke grenades with 1 down already on top mid. See how tentative and hesitant eUnited are in this round. Minute 20, plenty of spray and harassment top mid. Perhaps encouraging their opponent to use whatever they might have in the hole. Pushing through the smoke now, but Shazam is standing in the middle of it. Ace going back for the bomb, maybe. Can he find a second frag? No, trying to conserve his ammo, but it will be just the one. Does Ye go past the angle here? Oh, that's a massive frag for eUnited.
Yeah, that's so huge, isn't it? Android, though, goes out. He finds a very easy one, maybe a second one. Relics, oh, if he had another bullet, Relics will be dead. But he doesn't, and Relics is alive. And they are going to go back towards B, perhaps, but not anymore. Stan is a clairvoyant. He sees into the future. He knows too much. And that gives a solid opportunity now for Complexity as they go for their rotation back towards A, knowing that eUnited, the only place that they surely can feel safe to go is A as well. Relics, 29 health. Very, very susceptible to anything, and he surely is not long for this world. Takes it straight to the face, and now Moose with 15 seconds has to plant. He's been spotted by Stanislaw now. Where is Def? Moose doesn't know where he can plant safely. He's just got to go for it. There's no time at all. Def will come in from the flank, and there is nothing he can do. What a round from Complexity.
That is a big round. The money's all over the shop for eUnited. Do they force back? Big decision to be made here by eUnited, but they seem to know what they want to do. Oh, no, they don't. They've got a tactical timeout, and I think that is sensible because this is a pivotal round. It is 9-13 from their perspective. Dazzle and Relics on about 36, 3800. Moose and Ace north of 4,000. Moose almost on 5, and Dapper on 2k. What do we want to do in this situation? Man, these anti-ecos from both teams have been scary, hairy, and the ecos have been a bit leery. Right then, They're going for it. They are going for gold. Surely they have 2 AKs. Sure Relix is picking one up. Yes, he is. So 2 AKs, 2 Mac 10s. How many helmets have we got? We've got helmets galore. We've got more helmets than an interview with Freya. 4-round lead for Complexity, and eUnited are charging up. Shazam's missed his shot. Is Stanislaw protected? It seems he'll protect himself. He's a one-man security unit. Ooh, we've got bodies flying all over the shot, but Stanislaw stands tall, runs through the flames. And that is devastating for eUnited. By no means is this round over, but eUnited are on the back foot. Stanislaw and Shazam at the back of the site. Moose has the 2 flashbangs, but these players could be anywhere. They could be an AWP coffin, for example. Relic's creeping, but at some point he's going to have to go for a wide peek. There is a high flashbang. And now the CTs know what's up. Shazam fires his shot. Shazam will take it down. Shazam's in the red now and he's on his own and he's dead. 2 on 2 and the CTs are miles away. There's no smoke here for United. Just one flash onto Moose to try and win this round.
This is the perfect spot to have an AWP. Oh, he's forced out though and there's nothing he can do. Relix, 1 versus 2. He's been on. Oh, what a tease. Yay, now he's given up Greg's position. He has to frag out. He spotted the next play. He's on 15 HP. He can't really afford to be taking an engagement, but he has to. The head has to be found, but he won't be able to do that. Android will win the 1v1, and Complexity go to 14. A mere 9 rounds for eUnited. It's been a while since they got anything going, but they've been so close numerous times.
Do eUnited eco and play against game point to win 6 rounds in a row? It doesn't seem that will be the case. They are going to gamble. You want to gamble? You want to take the money, or do you want to gamble? I'm going to gamble. There is no choice to take the money.
Complexity with a tactical. I like that. That's pretty cool. Obviously, you know, they're in the lead. You know, and it's I like that teams. We see that from teams. And we see it actually a lot, I think, from Complexity, and I'm not sure, you know, who exactly is to credit for that, and it'd be cool to understand exactly how they spend some of this time. You know, we can only guess. But I do like it when you're ahead. Keep everybody focused. There's a lot to be said for fine-tuning the professional mindset and dialing people back in. And a pause can do that if everybody knows exactly what or how to sort of run those mental mechanisms of, you know, refocusing oneself and shaking off any nerves. Complexity have a strong buy against a hodgepodge collection of weaponry. And it's likely going to be B here. United do not have enough utility to take top mid and then go back to B or try to run a set piece on A. They pretty much have to just go for the B bomb site. They're going to try to run a fake, suggest that they're taking top mid, but here comes the B take pretty soon now. And Def is ready with an AWP, and he's got Stan with him too.
There's the flashbang. Def forced off the angle, but he delivers the first kill. There's a smoke down now, and a Molotov at the front of the site. Players trying to wrap towards construction. The bomb stand at the front, but there are 30 seconds. They need the frags. 2 versus 5. Massive frags from Dazzle. He's got an angle now on construction, and that bomb might just be able to go down in the meantime. Ye coming up from the banana position. 2 from CT spawn. Dazzle can seize his position to switch with his teammate, but the CTs are close. Now Moose, as you can see, can't peek with a gun as bad as that. He's got to play the close angle. And that leaves Dazzle to focus on CT, on Banana, sorry. And if they push from the front of the site, he better have his flicks ready. Trying to cover both options now. Misses the shot though towards the Banana position. A flying CT, and now the Mac 10's got to do work with multiple targets. So hard for Moose, 16 HP. Goes wide, but he can't really do anything in that situation. Game point Complexity.
Ooh, it's a good effort, a very good effort. For only a couple of seconds more sports there. Maybe eUnited could have won the round, but that's not the case. And we're going to see map points going to Complexity. And they have not slowed down, really. I mean, we've seen, you know, the last 3 rounds in a row have gone to them. Of course, the previous 3 were for eUnited, but these last 3 have looked fairly convincing from Complexity. They absolutely have found confidence in their approach. And Shazam, how deep will he go? Surely they understand that the money for United is terrible. They cannot have an AWP. United will occupy second mid here, sneaking 1 player into the apps. Into Boiler. So it seems as though they're just going to try to run in a piece into the A sites. Complexity already floating over a 4th player. This will be hard. It's the balcony pop. Sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it's terrible.
Second one hits Android. Yeah, unable to do anything. Android on the site. Good for the first frag, but he gets flanked. Stanislaw out in the open, exposed, and down he goes. And Def does not want to give up this AWP, although Ace has one already. eUnited not out of it just yet. About to hit double figures. The money is pretty much ruined for Complexity, so this could go even further down the wire.
Yeah,
maybe no wire left.
The jumping Mac 10. Gotta respect it. It's seemingly the perfect gun for that job. How do you stop that? How do you stop the jumping Mac 10? I feel as though if you had, for example, any other weapon there, maybe an MP9 is the only other gun that would perform the same job in the way that you want. Because I think if I'm not mistaken, the first kill was, I think headshots were made whilst the guy with the Mac 10 was in the air, so that's pretty rough. And based on, like, because that kill came so quickly, that collapsed the defense in, like, just immediately. The defense is very sort of domino-esque. If you take down the one piece, everything else starts falling.
Only 1 smoke grenade for eUnited. Sorry, for Complexity, rather. Def, who spent most of his time with the AWP out. Ace has been tagged, it seems, and he's blind. Jumps back, Relics is on fire. Oh dear, is this how it begins? Through the wall, maybe it is how it begins. Jumping peek from Stanislaw, doesn't need to pursue further, just wants to make sure he knows what the situation is on Banana. Now, Dapper's the only person in that position. Is he going to clear Banana himself? If he can try to protect these weapons, dispose of them, but this is very hairy work. You can see him collecting the AWP now. So he'll be throwing weapons over the wall, one would presume. Got to be careful where he does it, because otherwise you could retrieve them. He's really trying to get rid of them, but he can't do this all day. They could push at any time. They've got the numbers.
So the slow ramp, always a good look. Surely not like this, though. Can Complexity really pull this one off? They've given a lot of problems, or United gave them a lot of problems in rounds like this, but Complexity, oh, Dazzle's found the back of Android. That's big. Another follow-up kill, and now it's all even. And systematically, 1 by 1, Complexity unable to do much. And that's sort of the problem, I think, when you have USPs, because you don't really feel confident. Like, everyone wants to hide, because no one really feels confident in winning a fight. So it's very hard to find a good timing to peek out and try to take those fights. Def wants to make this hurt, though. Is he actually trying to... Oh my god, he's actually going for this. Def, surely not. There is no way. Does he have a kit? He's got a kit. Is there time to do this? 2 seconds. Oh my god, he's gonna...
Oh my god!
What an absolute legend! With a ninja defuse. I can hardly believe it.
You dirty bugger, you want to watch the World Cup? That is...
Wow.
I don't even know. Dazzle got stuck on the rail. He had to jump twice. If he jumped once, maybe he gets there in time. He jumped into the rail, and United are sent to the rail at the end of that first game. Time to reset and forget about that while we move to map 2 after the break. See you back here soon.